Long time no see. Happy Boxing Day. Happy Boxing Day. Happy Boxing Day. It's been a while I did live. As all of us are home today. Welcome, Cheka Viv. Happy Boxing Day. So today I want to treat welcome the Pride 2. Welcome Arumote. Welcome. Happy Boxing Day to you all. Today I want to look at a topic that I've been thinking about. Compliments. Thank you, Chika. I've been thinking about what is the importance of having checkpoints in the East. What do you think is the pros and cons? Do you think it is important to have all those checkpoints? Do you think there are more advantages of having those checkpoints, or do you think that police are just extorting people from the East, or even checkpoints in the whole Nigeria? But I want to focus on the East because of the alarming number. Do you think that the checkpoints in the East have helped the security situation in the East? Hi, Michael. Hi, Chinigold. So I just want to discuss this because I've been thinking about it. I've heard, I think it was the army chief that was saying that they need to use that approach because of the terrain of the East. So what is the difference with the terrain in the East and the terrain of other parts of Nigeria that will have so much checkpoints? Is it that people of the East or the Igbos are known for crime or criminality that we need to have so much checkpoints? Welcome, Estate Immobiling. These checkpoints, what do you think about them? Because there have been so many videos flying around, especially this Christmas. You know, there's been some videos of people who have been kidnapped. I saw one video of like a nice Lexus Jeep. I think about 2 or 3 Lexus Jeeps or something. Hi Praise Nation. Hi Manu Boya. Hi Peter Ebujele, my leader. So, what do you think about these checkpoints in the East? What do you think? Baba Hill, what do you think? Do you think that these checkpoints are good? Do you think that they help? Or do you think that, they affect the security situation in the East? Merry Christmas celebrations and a Happy New Year in advance. Thank you so much, my good brother. Official Praise Nation Unlimited. I'm in the East and the network is very poor here. Understood, sir. Understood. Generally, I think Nigeria is in bad shape when it comes to network. With all the money that MTN or whatever they are called and Glo and Airtel are making, you would imagine that by now, some things are supposed to be a given. You're supposed to have, gotten to some particular level. But unfortunately, all the time I'm on the phone with somebody, oh, it's network. Oh, network is bad. Oh, network is breaking. Oh, my God. In 2024, we can't even have, a very simple conversation on the phone. And millions and billions are in this sector. Sometimes I wonder if all these networks and all these, big multinational companies are just intentionally using these networks to make people use more credits. There is 41 checkpoints from Omagwa PH to Onitsha Opiweka. 41 checkpoints. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's what I'm discussing today, because some of this kidnapping that happened, some people will say, oh, there are no police, there are no security, and that's why probably these guys were able to attack. So what are the pros and cons of these checkpoints? Will you feel more safe if you are driving in the East in this festive period and you don't see any police checkpoints? Or will you feel more safe if you have that 41 checkpoints. How be it you probably give them bribe, as they call it. Would you rather tip police than pay ransom? I want us to analyze this thing. Or do you think it is one of the ways that Nigeria is being with the high rates of, I'm worried. A lot of people are worried, especially when people from the East want to come back home. These are the things they sort of consider. And some people end up just staying in Lagos and going back. Some people, they will tell you, oh, I'm not going to the East. The checkpoints are many, but I think it makes me feel safe. That's from Peter Ebojele. Peter, thank you for that submission. I want to hear, will you feel more safe? Me, I have a very weird, how do I put it? Something weird was happening to my head because, you see, somebody that is with uniform and with gun in the day can be a good man, but that same person, if he removes that uniform and have that same gun, can be a criminal at night. Because if there is so much criminality in a place where there is so much security, then you know that the people that are doing the security might be involved, so to speak. So for me, with all this security in the East, with the rate of checkpoints in the East, why do we still have a lot of kidnapping in the East? That is my worry. And these guys are seen on particular roads. There are particular roads that they station themselves. So they are not in the crooks and crannies. They are not in the roads that leads to some villages whereby these kidnappings happens. I would rather pay police than get robbed or pay ransom. That's from Peter again. Please, guys, I need your submissions. Thank you, Peter, for that wonderful submission. Peter believes it's better to give tip of 50 naira or 100 naira, as the case may be, and feel more safe. Personally, I always appreciate police when I'm in the East, especially if they're nice to me. But once you start telling me, come down, show me your paper, your license, your fire extinguisher, I will not be nice. I will not give you anything again. But once you're nice to me, I will tip you. Because I believe standing on the sun is not easy. People should just avoid night movements. I don't think it's even healthy for people to avoid night movements. I think in a secured economy, night life should be part of a growing economy. No country of the world that is strong economically just have 12 hours of a day or 6 hours. I mean, 6 to 6, everywhere is dark, everybody's inside. You can't grow and run an economy like that. I still think Nigeria needs to improve their security to the point that every part of Nigeria should have nightlife. You should be able to travel in the night. You should be able to. We feel as safe in the night in the UK as much as we feel safe in the day. There is no difference. But Nigeria, night means darkness, and it means evil. It means evil, evil people can easily attack you, and it shouldn't be. We should be able to feel safe in the night and be able to do as much as we can. There's only 24 hours in a day, and we cannot be using 12 hours to be idle or sleeping. We should increase things that are happening in the night in Nigeria. You should increase, and when I talk about night economy, I'm not just talking about nightclub. Workers can work in the night in warehouses. Business can run till 10 p.m. There's businesses in the UK you call off license. All those shops, sometimes they'll run till late, 10. Them Tesco, them Lidl, all those big supermarkets, they can run till 9. Not 6 o'clock. Everywhere is dead in Nigeria because of security purposes. And they shouldn't be. We are losing a whole lot of money, and that's why we are unproductive. The people need to change, and that's from the pride. Thank you, the pride. The people needs to change. In what way? How do you want these people to change? Let's keep the comments coming. I want to actually deliberate on this issue. 200 naira does it, and nobody will stress you on the road. People should just, okay, I've read that one. The fact is that nightlife is only safe in a country with fewer poor people. Of course. Somebody said something on TV. I think it was when Kenneth Okonkwo was on channels recently, that he was rubbishing the recent Tinubu's pre-recorded interview, and he was saying that uh, nobody should score himself, and he's done abysmal for him to think he's successful. And I think he's not far from the truth. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo can appear harsh, but he's very, very realistic. You know, yeah, I think he said every country has poor people, and it's true. The only problem is that when you now have poor people that cannot feed, I want to give an example with this recent stampede. Obi Jackson have been doing philanthropy for years. Obi Jackson have been doing that same thing every year. What is different with this year? Why should people die? Because people that ordinarily would not go for rice, people of middle class have been dropped down to the poverty class, and people in poverty class have even further dropped to either drop dead or drop into abject poverty. And that is the situation that people are now. Do you know what is stampeding to the point of goodness gracious? 30-something people, 40-something people dying because of food. May God have mercy on us, Nigeria, with all the allowable lands that we have in the north, with the manpower we have. People will be dying because of ordinary rice. And I really like that Onopasanya that was, even though he was APC, was able to say truth to power. He clearly said that APC have failed. And if anybody should look at what is happening in Nigeria and boast and say that he's a successful or he's an excellent president, that person must be living in La La Land. Honestly speaking, APC should check themselves. And I'm happy that that man said that on national TV. People that have been doing charity every year, you are saying they don't know how to organize. Is it today that they started? Let me read some comments on Facebook from Peter. The government needs to be up and doing. This current president is a disaster. I agree. Okonkwo said it all. Millions of people in Nigeria have been pulled into poverty. Exactly. And I don't know how these people sleep at night. Yes, you canceled your trip to Ibadan or something, but that is not enough justice. Not enough justice. How can you be blaming somebody that is coming to share palliative that you government supposed to share, that they did not plan it well? Honestly, what Onopasanya said on that channel's interview with Kenneth Okonkwo, I was so happy to hear that from an APC man. I said to him, God bless you, sir, for saying the truth. Because you play politics and play politics to a point. You tell yourself the truth. Even the conscience you have will not allow you to continue playing politics. And that's why I have a problem with people like Bongoli and all this. I cannot say things against this party or this president because they believe they supported them. No. Even if somebody is your family member, at some point you have to say, listen, this is wrong. Obi Jackson, I know Obi Jackson does philanthropy every year. Not be today. The reason people were stampeded is that the volume of poor people now has never been before. What is rice that you cannot buy in Christmas? What is rice? Now chicken is 35,000 naira. 35 to chop one chicken. Chicken that you used to buy with 1,500 is now 35,000 naira. A lot of people in this Christmas will not have eaten chicken. If people are fighting over rice, where would you see chicken? I was speaking to a friend that owns a poultry, and he was telling me that the worst mistake he did last year was to plan that Christmas people will buy a lot of chicken, a lot of fowl. To his surprise, people did not buy because of economic hardship. Dr. Osi, and some folks are putting the blame on the citizens instead of the wicked leaders that have succeeded in impoverishing the people. Exactly my thoughts, my brother. How can you blame people who are trying to give succor to the people that they did not plan it well? Oh yeah, you go and plan your own well and give. Go and plan it well and give. Let the governors plan well and give. Onobasa spoke very well, and God bless him. Sometimes It might just be simple things like that posterity will judge you kindly. Having an understanding that at some point, because Okonkwo was saying something, Kenneth Okonkwo was saying something, he said, people around him are deceiving him. President Jonathan said one thing. He said, good Lord Jonathan said, that the day he handed over power, the people that followed him to hand over power did not follow him back to the plane. That immediately handed over power, they stayed there and shared on Buhari. So he left the ground, and went back with very few people. And that is how politics is. So they will be sharing on Tinubu. Oh, yeah, they were taxing Tinubu. Why didn't you reduce the number of ministers? And he was talking nonsense. Why didn't you implement the Orosanya's report? He was talking nonsense that you need all these people. Yet, you're a colossal failure. The Port Harcourt refinery that they said has come on this thing, on stream. They said now it stopped working because it's only a blending plant. It's not fully complete. And Mele Kyari is still there. And instead of sacking him, they are giving us another minister of petroleum for states. Can you imagine the greed? Of course, that's the country called Nigeria. How a giant has turned to an ant. If you're a millionaire in Kenya, if you count 1 million in Kenya or in Zimbabwe or in Congo, if you come to Nigeria, we have millions of naira because of our exchange rate. Don't even try to convert Ghana cedis to naira. That is how poor Nigerians have been reduced. The government have brought untold hardship on the people to the extent that those who were once rich are now struggling to survive. It is what it is. But there's something like confusing about Nigeria. I mean, you still see people that flash cars. You still see the likes of Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid, buy them Ferrari, them Rolls Royce Spectre, them, So sometimes it's like a mirage, this whole poverty thing. Because of those people that flaunt all those wealth, the billboards, the vintage exterior. You look at them, there's money in this Lagos, there's money in Nigeria. So sometimes we get mixed up on what is actually on ground, that people are actually suffering. But for what is worth, for people to be stampeded in Ibadan, in Abuja, in Anambra State, speaks volume of the sheer number of poor people in Nigeria. It's sad. So when it comes to this issue of checkpoints, what are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you think? Do they help? Or do you think checkpoints are adding more pain to travelers or commuters? Because if driver wants to carry motor, transport you from one place to the other, he will factor in that he will sort out those checkpoints. He has to factor that in. So if you are going to travel, say for example, you are going from Asaba to Onitsha or Enugu, and he knows that in between those two states or three states, that he has to meet at least 60 checkpoints. And out of that 60, maybe a good number of 40 will ask for money, and maybe 2 will stop and search everybody. He might factor in, those costs and make the fare to come up a bit. So those police on the road, those checkpoints, including the military and custom and what have you, they also affect the people directly. And somebody said something. I think it was Geoffrey Uzoma on Channels that said it. He said that subsidy simply means government taking money directly from the people and giving it back to government. And that's why when they remove fuel subsidy, the FAC allocation now grew. They are not paying subsidy anymore. So that trillion they claim they are saving, they have now increased the number of FAC allocation that they are giving to the governors. Now, the money they are giving to the governors, what are the governors using it to implement? I mean, there are a few governors that are doing wonders. Thumbs up to Peter Mba, thumbs up to Alex Oti, and a few governors, I think governor of Zamfara and governor of Niger. I think you can even give Sanwo-Olu some credit, right? But how does that affect the day-to-day life of Nigerians? That is still the big issue. So why not allow subsidy to stay in place so that people can at least don't pay all this money that they are paying, to the high cost of fuel, which in turn affects, everything, the price of everything. And that's the inflation Nigerians are facing. Because how do governors add value or add life to the lives of their citizens? The national grid is collapsing almost every other week. That's so sad. That's so appalling. And that's what Kenneth Ogunwa was saying. How can you score yourself as an excellent president while the number of deaths under Tinubu has passed the number of deaths under Buhari in the whole tenure, and you've only done less than 2 years? How can we have so many security operatives in the southeast? Yes, there is rampant kidnapping everywhere. One woman said, I watched a video, she said that when she came in, her husband did not tell anybody that she was coming in. To the point, the husband didn't even tell the brother that was driving him to go and pick the wife to the airport until they got to the roundabout leading to the airport. I said, okay, go to the airport. And he said, oh, why are we going to the airport? Is mommy back? He said, yes, mommy is back. It was then that the man knew, okay, the wife is back in the country. But guess what? Somehow, that woman was kidnapped. So how do we have all this security and kidnapping is still on the rise? And this is what I'm thinking. When you put so much security in a place, there will be bad ones among them. There are bad cops even in America. Even if you go to, what do you call them? All these South American countries. All of them, some of them, they have, some of the police, the bad police, part of the cartels, protecting and giving information, leaking information and stuff, So when you have, too many police in a particular zone, some of them might be part of the bad eggs. The police will carry the gun and go and stand on the road in the day. In the night, the same gun will be used by some to go. And, these things happen. This is why people like Kemi was saying what they were saying against the Nigerian police force. And every time they keep saying, oh, we are issuing a communique. No, police should touch anybody's phone. Police should not do this. Police should not do that. And then you still see these things continue to happen. Because even police don't even listen to themselves. They still know that the DPO will still ask for his own share. They are already intoxicated with that money that they collect every month or every day rather on the streets. They are already banking on that money. Most police don't even look at the money they collect from salary. Most police, they bank on the money they get on the road. They bank on the money they collect from commuters. So how do we go from here? Would you feel more safe? Alhaji Highway, would you feel more safe if you are driving on the road and the road is clear and you can speed and go where you are going? Then if you see anybody with gun, you know that person is a criminal. Either you reverse or you run them over, whichever one comes to your mind. Or would you prefer that there will be more checkpoints, especially in this festive period? So somebody just said 41 checkpoints between this thing and Onitsha. That's a lot of money. Now think about how many cars passes a particular place in a second. In fact, I saw one video, there was a very long traffic, and they said it was because of a military checkpoint that there is that hold up. So they are passing cars one by one slowly, slowing down the whole traffic. These are things that are not done abroad. Never. As force men, you do your things discreetly. In this country, you go just drive. The next thing you will see police don't park person. Sometimes will be unmarked police cars that will just, and then one police car that is marked will just flag you down. They work on intelligence. You won't even see them unnecessarily stopping and searching people. Nigeria is still in an analog stage. How do you stop all the cars on the road and be making them pass one and looking into their car and judging if they are criminals? That's why Kemi was saying to the British presenter that Nigeria police stole. Imagine. Kemi said, and listen, Shetima was saying that Kemi will one day need Nigeria. You are joking. Kemi in her level will never need Nigeria for anything. Don't make any mistakes. Is it because she's answering Kemi? Is it because she's answering Kemi? Someone that is the leader of the Conservative Party. Do you even know what that means? Shetima thinks saying to be PDP leader, be opposition leader, what did they do for Nigeria? That was Nigeria a country. Do you know what it means to be the conservative leader of a country like the Great Britain? So Kemi might be our name, Nigerian like us, but by God's grace, she's operating on an upper echelon. So Shetima, don't see yourself in the same class because you are VP. In her life, there is nothing that she will need Nigeria anymore. Why should she care about Nigeria? There are Nigerians like you and I that said that they will never go back to Nigeria again. They don't care. There are people that I've seen countless people tearing their passport. There are people that are Nigerians that don't even claim they're Nigerian. So why would you think that Kemi will ever need something that the UK will not give to her and Nigeria will be the ones to give it to her? So Shetima should just calm down. What she said was her truth. She said the police stole her brother's shoe. And that's sad. That's the image of the Nigerian police down the drain. There are some powerful people that when they speak, it is worse than answers. And that is why it is very, very important for any institution to be seen to be upholding the law. You cannot be doing nonchalant nonsense. Everybody is complaining about the police. Governor Baseke was complaining about the IG. Recently, an investigation, into the police, they were saying, Kiniko. Like, so you hear so many untold, so many, am I talking about Okuzo, SARS? There's so many things, even just not I tried so much to bring the thing to limelight. Nothing happened to all the names mentioned. And you think international community don't know all these things? Do you think the Nigerian police have any reputation? When you hear Nigerian police, you hear bribe, you hear all those things where they stay on the road, they collect money, they hide them, it's not done in the open. Do you need an investigative journalist to know that Nigerian police just collect money on the road? Is it done in any country in the world? Tell me one country in the world that police will stand on the road and be collecting money from commuters, fellow citizens. Is it not robbery? Is it not robbery? I do it. I give them because I feel like, some of them are not being appreciated or even given enough welfare. One of the videos I did last was on police welfare. But sometimes when you look at these issues, it speaks volume. A lot of things in Nigeria is abnormal. Police don't even understand that they are law enforcers. How can you have so much concentration of police people in the East, yet there is so much kidnapping? Make it make sense to me. I'm struggling to make it make sense. And they will go and position themselves on those major roads. People coming from Lagos, people coming from Abuja. You will not see them in those villages where there is this high rate of kidnapping. Some people are telling me in Imo State, some people cannot go back to their village. Those from Imo State, those from all those Olosa or whatever, there are people that have said that they can't go to their village because of insecurity. A lot of people have asked for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody cares. They keep ignoring it. Instead, they keep trooping more police to the southeast. Yet, I just got an information today that they are still doing Monday sit at home. Like I thought most of the governors are saying there's nothing like Monday sit at home. Even Enugu State Governor, even Soludo, I thought they were all saying that they've stopped sit at home. But lo and behold, I was just told this evening that even on the 23rd, there was sit at home. Even on a Christmas day that normally you shouldn't be able to walk in main market on a Christmas season. Everywhere will be packed with people. They said they'll maintain sit at home. I'm like, wow, this thing is still strong. They said yes. I was asking the person, I said, I thought this governor, they said that one is joke. He said that they're observing sit at home as they are 100%, they're still observing it. So where do we go from here? Governors have asked, chiefs have asked, kings have asked, priests have asked, release this man so that there will be peace in the land. They don't care. They will just keep pouring because they don't even want Southeast to even develop. Peter wrote, imagine Tinubu himself said his friend who used to have a number of Rolls Royce is now driving a Accord, but head didn't tell him that is a sign of failure. Peter, maybe he's thinking that his friend is a humble man. So suddenly your friend packed his Rolls Royce and started driving a Accord. You think, oh, it's humility. You wouldn't know it's because of poverty. Because that Rolls Royce might be 4.0. So the fuel that will normally take the man, let's say, because I have somebody that just recently came to Nigeria, somebody very close to me. He said he had to buy fuel 120,000. 120,000. And the fuel will not even get to the east from Lagos. He has to put still. Peter is confirming sit at home is still active. Imagine. What is the essence of all the police checkpoints, military checkpoints? What is the essence in the east? If people cannot feel safe, can't we? Nigeria is one stupid country that everybody knows this thing is not working. Like everybody know that this thing is not working. They will still do it. They will be doing it. And there's a saying that it's only a fool that will continue doing something and expecting a different result. For the longest time, people have told you what will solve this crisis of sit at home. Release this man. Okay, you've heard Simon Ekpa. You said Simon Ekpa is the one controlling it from Finland. Why is this thing? I was so surprised when I heard it this evening. So if you held Simon Ekpa, you are holding Finland government is holding Simon Ekpa, right? So he's not giving any command anymore from Finland. And you are holding Nnamdi Kanu. So how come the sit at home is still holding? So how come the sit at home is still being enforced? So this is the issue that we have to look at. All these checkpoints in the east, especially now that it's Christmas, you still subject people to all these checkpoints. Me, I don't even know which one I belong to. I don't even know whether I belong to let checkpoints be there or checkpoint not be there, because sometimes the kind of news of kidnapping, I would imagine that maybe if there exists all these checkpoints, maybe it will be reduced. But from all indication from what we are seeing, like the video I saw recently that they posted like yesterday or today, they were saying that they stopped this Lexus Jeep, got the people out straight into the bush. They didn't even close the door. They didn't even bother to take the car. And one other woman that was giving testimony, the one I told you that the husband did not tell anybody she's coming back, they said that the way those guys were moving in the forest, barefooted, that even them, they have to be beating them to walk fast. He said clearly that they are Fulani people, that they are nomadic, that the way they were walking so fast in the bush, they were walking far. So these people will come down and claim they are police, and then their brothers will be causing mayhem in the east. We don't know what is I don't understand the security architecture or the strategy of the military that they are claiming is. What is it helping to solve? What is all this security checkpoint solving apart from robbing people of their money with all this hardship, collecting bribe from drivers? There is nobody that will ask you to provide proof of police collecting bribe on the road, unless that person is not Nigerian. You don't need to do investigative journalism for that one. That one happens in the open every day. Every day. And my problem is not the money. Like I said, I appreciate the police. Even to carry AK and stand on the road is not easy. At some point, your heart go to pain you. Checking your papers and all the rest, I appreciate them for all those works. But in a case whereby there is still rampant kidnapping, what are you then doing at that security check? And most of these people, once it's 6 o'clock, they disappear. Oh, God. When do people commit crime in Nigeria? It's not in the night, mainly. So you're in a checkpoint. You collect money, 6 o'clock, you disappear. And that 6 o'clock is when it gets dark. That's when these evil people start committing all these heinous crimes. Is it not in the day, when there is daylight, you guys are supposed to go and sleep? And then in the night, you're supposed to come out and give security. Back in the day, although these things have been bastardized, but back in the day, when people used to say they have gateman or have security, the process was that in the day they will be sleeping. And then in the night, they will stay awake and watch you. They used to call them watchman. When they used to have big torch and stay by the gate, they will be watching to make sure that once a criminal come, they will shoot the criminal or chase the criminal away. That's what security used to be. I remember those days, you know, during the time of Bakassi people in Onitsha, those days, streets used to pay for security. And those security, they don't sleep at night. When others are sleeping, that's when the security men and patrol the whole streets. Even markets, Ochanja market, main market, all these places have very tight security. Strong men that are doing security. Those security men, they don't sleep. In the night is when they do their job. When you are sleeping in your house, they secure your goods. These days we just see, market don't catch fire. How does it catch fire when there's nobody there? Who entered there to put fire there? These are the problems. 6 o'clock, police don't go. So police be like bank or banker. You they go work, police they go work. In work not to stand. Take your money as bribe. As you finish the close, they go home. Police they go home. Who is protecting you? What a country. And a military chief will come on TV. They will ask him, this complaints about the checkpoints in the east. What do you have to say about it? Oh, it's because of the terrain. What terrain? Where else in Nigeria do you have the number of checkpoints? And my problem is not even the checkpoint. My problem is, then bring peace. There's so much kidnapping. People are coming back to have fun and they don't have security. A lot of people cannot come to the east because there's no security. A lot of people have to now hang in other places, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Abuja, Asaba, just to avoid that security issue in the east. Because police is nowhere to be found when these things happen. And guess what? If security is standing on the road, and then in the night they disappear, and then all of a sudden people are now kidnapped from their cars into the forest, what does that tell you? I didn't say anything, but let your brain process it. Because if you're not here, you're supposed to be there. But if you are here, we know you are here. How is it that our forests are full of kidnappers and kidnapping? Look at the money they are calling. Somebody on he said the amount of billions that are mentioned that have been paid as a ransom in this year alone, that kidnapping is no more a vice or this thing. It's an industry. That's the word he used. It's a multi-billion naira industry. If military are serious and you really want to protect Easterners, you love Easterners so much, why not comb the forest? What are you doing on the road? Where, in which country of the world do you see military on the road? I've lived in the UK for 15 years. Apart from the barracks, you don't have any business seeing a military man. What on earth? I don't know how Nigeria and Nigerian government work. I don't know where they bring their templates from. Please, if you know of any country that have military on the road doing check, explain it to me. We're not in wartime, we're in peacetime. Why do you have so much militarization in the Southeast, yet there is no security, yet people are still fearing for their life, yet they still sit at home? What have you, the presence of military people and police people and all these security agencies in the East is not bringing the much needed peace. That is the whole point of the conversation. That's the meat and the flesh of the conversation. The presence of all these military people are even bringing the place to more security issues. With all that presence, yet more evil is happening. So what's the point? Change the strategy. You are taking more money from the people. The ransoms are still being paid. There is no peace brought to the table. So what exactly are we gaining? What are we gaining from having that police? And because go on all those roads that you will see that 41 checkpoints in the day. Go 7 o'clock. You won't see any of them again. That's why most Yahoo boys, they don't drive in the night. Sorry, they don't drive in the day. They always drive in the night because they know in the night all this, at least half or 75% will clear. The road will be free. Yes, you can still see some few police doing night work, here and there. But that is it. Why the heavy presence? Why the heavy presence of security? Go to the forest, go to the bushes. When you hear of all these incidents, ask for more information. Ask people to be reporting it. The news are there. The problem is that most news from the East don't make it to all these channels TV or Arise TV, or unless it's frivolous things. Sometimes you on the news, you'll be itching to hear sometimes the best place to even hear news in Nigeria is to go to blogs, Instablog Nigeria or Gossip Mill or other. Then you will see what is happening to everyday people. Most channels news or Arise news are Wike versus Fubara, President Tinubu gave a speech. You don't hear everyday news. It's when you go to some blogs, maybe Voice of the East, Igbo Diaries, or all these things, that you hear kind of news that are happening in the East, or things that are, you'll be seeing the kidnapping and everything. Most of the times, those mainstream media, they don't want to be carrying such bad news because they don't want to expose the evil happening in Nigeria. But that's not how to solve the issue. You're supposed to bring all these evil things to limelight so people can see and be worried, rightfully. Other than they still need to explain Nigeria, give you at this stage. My brother, nobody say I don't know, but again, it's so annoying when, especially a president comes and calls himself excellent. By what indices? Your tax reform, they are refusing to accept it, yet they will be telling us we are one Nigeria. Nigeria is so polarized. In fact, somebody stood up and said they want to put Sharia law in the southern part of Nigeria. Sharia law. You want to impose Sharia law on Christians. Igbos are 98% Christians. You want to impose Sharia law. A country that's supposed to be one country, but you have penal code here, constitution here, Sharia law here. What kind of country is that? Have you ever heard of that one before? Different levels of laws in different places. Dr. Osi, thank him so much. People from abroad want to come back to the East, but they are worried. People are using solar energy because the national grid is collapsing. No plan, no projection. People have 10 years plan. England have 20 years. America have 30 years plan. Nigeria don't even have tomorrow's plan. All they are planning is election. Election, next election, next election. I want to win. APC will win next election. That's all they are planning. And that is because our elections are very, 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 very expensive. Somebody came and said that to run a presidential election in Nigeria, you are looking to 12 to 15 billion. In an election, you're not sure if you're going to win. You want to pull out 12 to 15 billion and throw away. We have to make our election as simple as possible. In the UK, it's capped. In the UK, it is capped. They cannot spend, they have a maximum amount of money. America is expensive. But look at how big America is. It's vast. 300 million people. Nigeria is even more expensive than America in running elections. So what is the import of all of this? Mongolia and Femi are busy hosting live that is full of biased opinions. Just before I started this live, I was listening to Femi's live yesterday that he did with them Kid and Emma Blaze and a few of them. You know, and I was happy that at least Kid Auspicious was able to say some truth because I educate him. I send these things to him. I sent the video with Kenneth Okoko and Obasanya to him. And I said, listen, watch. That's how to give critiques. At some point, you have to drop the useless tribe and politics and tell the truth to power. How can President Tinubu score himself excellent when people are dying? Stampede. Not because of Pope come to Nigeria. Not because of the King of England came to Nigeria. Ordinarily because of rice. People are struggling to get rice. And federal governments have been sharing rice since when? When did federal government start sharing rice? So people are still hungry till now. Upon say they share rice since when? If the rice you guys have been sharing have really been getting to these people, how are they still struggling about rice? How many people shared rice? Pastor Jerry shared rice. Governments have been sharing rice, yet people are still hungry. And you are scoring yourself. I mean, thankfully, the Obe from Channels challenged him on that. I didn't even watch. I'm just talking from the reports I got. I didn't even have the stomach to watch Tinubu and his gifts and whatever. I mean, let's face it. We know who we voted for. We saw somebody that is bright, energetic, visionary, that could have saved us. People move richly, especially that stupid Yakubu Mahmoud, telling us he went to Ghana to go and monitor the election, and oh God, that guy, looking at him pisses me off a lot. With the evil he brought to Nigeria. I hope his whole village are enjoying. I hope he's happy seeing that people are being stampeded because of ordinary rice. They have excuse for everything. I mentioned pre-election that this government will only rule with propaganda. It's sad that somebody is still blaming PDP after APC have done 8 years plus. What are you still blaming PDP for? It's evil for anybody to look at himself and score APC excellent. There are few ministers that are doing well. I give it to Tunde Bumi Ojo, Ministry of Interior. I give it to Festus Keyamo, Minister of Aviation. But that is 2 out of 38 ministries. 2 out of 38 ministries. That is 2 over 38. Are you going to score Wike with the evil Wike is doing? Everybody crying up and down in Abuja? Or are you going to give it to which other ministry are we going to say that is good? Which other ministry? It's only 2 of those ministries that are good. Is it our education that is something to write home about? Have you seen the nature of our schools? How many strikes have APC had? So we're in a situation whereby, man, you need to hear people's stories. You need to hear people's stories. People are really suffering. People that have very good jobs in Nigeria, that left those jobs and come to the UK, and are here regretting why they left. Those are the best of our middle class, leaving to come here to do menial jobs. You will have a PhD, master's degree, somebody who have experience and have been working in Nigeria for years will come here and be reduced to a cleaner, reduced to a care worker, because everybody is trying to earn pounds, so that when they change it to Nigeria money, it will be millions. Wike is his worst performing minister. Imagine Femi saying that there is constant power supply in Nigeria right now, that the federal roads are now in better shape. What level of hypocrisy is that? Femi is living in La La Land. Femi is living in La La Land. You cannot, when they asked this guy, what's his name? When they asked Blaze to score Tinubu on a scale of 0 to 10, Blaze said he will score Tinubu below 1, -1. And that is the truth. I will hit the ground running. Which ground have you run on? No, tell me what. I mean, you're telling Nigerians that they should bear with you, they should endure. You are buying, like Kenneth Okonkwo said, you are buying the most expensive cars, and you're telling others to bear the blunt. Subsidies, you're taking the money from the people. They are now paying over 1,000 for a liter, and you are giving that money directly to the governors. You are increasing their FAC allocation. How do you expect these governors to turn the lives of these people? What are the governors doing? They are building flyover. That's every governor, that's what they do now, they build flyover. How does flyover help the common man? Agriculture, zero. Nigeria is supposed to pride in rice production. Producing rice, is it rocket science? Obasanjo used to have the biggest farm in Africa. We're supposed to have all those farms scattered everywhere. So we're in a mess. We're in a mess. It's a shame. It's a big shame. All these useless checkpoints we have in Nigeria, all they are saying for or do is to intimidate people. The day that I was posting about the discussion I had on, or the video I made on police, immediately I posted it on my WhatsApp. Somebody just wrote to me and said, "Guy, forget this rubbish." I said, "What happened?" He said that 2 times police have stopped him in Asaba. One, he was driving his work car. They stopped him, searched his phone. So I said, "Oh, they are still going through people's phones." So I said, "Hey, that means me, if I want to go to Nigeria now, I have to clear my phone." The guy said that he stood there from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. and they collected 50,000 naira with a bag. How is that not robbery? What is robbery? Tell me what is robbery. If you can stop somebody that is not a criminal, go through his phone and take 50,000 naira from him, is that not robbery? So how are we sure that these are not the people that are still coming in the night and kidnapping people? Don't quote me. But my mind is playing some things out. Our biggest problem in this country, Nigeria, one of our biggest problems is the police. And that's why when you go and listen to Charles Akpoki, when he was giving the history of Nigeria, especially the Nigerian police, he said the Nigerian police was created by the British colony, Nigeria police, not Nigerians police. And they put force there, Nigerian police force. The training they get is inhumane. They're going to beat batting for person head, they tell you to cry, me endure pain. They give them the worst treatment. Go to barracks. Go and look at barracks and see the condition police live under. City police. And there was a time I was going from Port Harcourt to Owerri, me and my friend, some years ago. So there was so many checkpoints. So the police guy said to me, "I will sit in front of your car and I will pass you through all the checkpoints. You give me 50K. And the worst of the checkpoint is the last one. He told me that it's the last one that is the biggest, and all these other ones, if I do the money, but the other last one will give me wahala. And we, when we are in Nigeria, we don't like, we just want to be moving, we want to be moving. We are security conscious. So I said, but I enter. When this guy entered my car, that little few minutes he spent in my car, Baba was honest enough. He was narrating the situation to me. He said, Baba, I don't get insurance. If anything happened to me now, my family, nobody will take care of them. That's why these guys have to resort in collecting all this money. They're not just collecting this money because they want to extort Nigerians. They're collecting this money because there's no welfare for them. Nobody cares. He said he has done how many years of service? I forgot how many years of service he did. He said you're on your own. That's why most of them have to resort to shams and juju for protection themselves. Because some of these criminals, let's face it, let's be honest, some of them themselves, they carry sham. Some criminals, they carry sham. If you shoot them, you know, go enter. So police guys guard up their own selves. There's no insurance for them. So by the time I got to the end, he managed to pass us through all the checkpoints. He dropped, we gave him his money, and he left. And we continued our journey. I regretted carrying that man that day because that my car, by the time we got to the east, by the time we got to Onitsha, the car knocked engine. Because police, watching those guys they carry for body, they feel knock your engine. Police. Nigerian police, their juju no be small. The few of them that serve God, the few of them are Christians, but most of them. Do you know police buy their uniforms themselves? I won't be surprised. There is more than 20 police checkpoints from Owerri to PH to date. My experience on that road last year was crazy. I still have the clips. Like they will see a normal person and tag you criminal. The problem is that when you now need them on the road, they are nowhere to be found. If people are paying those checkpoints and they are secured, it would have been good. But juju not be bad thing now. It depends on the juju. Some people do juju for protection. If you do juju for protection, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. But if you do juju to hurt people, of course it's a bad thing. Of course, criminals do juju so that they won't, bullets will not pierce their body. And I've seen videos where somebody that did juju will collect bullet. You didn't enter. I don't know the science behind African juju. African juju is another topic on its own. Tell me, what is the science that a bullet will shoot but it won't enter? Because of some things that some people do. Nigerian juju or African juju needs to be studied, understood, in fact, made money from. Teach it to Igbo. But instead of us to be doing these things and use it to help our economy, we'll be using it for negativity, using it to rob ourselves. Like Africans used to disappear and appear before. All these things, I don't know. They're supposed to teach us these things. Teach us how do you disappear and appear. But it was only the Rico one mama and change. Now all those times they will do video and they will do like the few they will miss. Or Bakasi people, those are we used to watch all these Bollywood people. I don't know how true they are. But as children, we used to talk about it then. They say, if the Rico, if you come, you do pew on the wall and he will disappear and enter into the wall. If those things are taught in school or learned how these things work, maybe we can even sell it to Igbo people. So juju can be used for good and juju can be used for bad. Have you read Dele Timi's book, Odera? No, I've not. I've not read his book. What did you want to tell us from the book? So we're in a very bad place as far as Nigeria is concerned. Honestly speaking, when I see the videos of the kidnapping, I wish there are checkpoints. But then when I see what people are suffering because of the checkpoints, I then wonder, is it good or bad? Should we have these checkpoints or should we not have it? Because if you are driving in Abuja, no checkpoints. People sleep in Abuja. If you are driving in Lagos, no checkpoints. Well, few checkpoints, but majorly, you're okay. Igbos live in Lagos. Why is it that in the East, it's as if everywhere is full of criminals, that you have to have so many checkpoints? Why? And yet, in that same East, there is so many kidnapping. It's too bad. Mick Godfrey, I don't know if you're my uncle from Crown Modern Primary School. Confirm, sir, if it's the same Mick Godfrey. Brother, you should read it. You won't be surprised, but it will intensify understand about the Nigerian state. Who hasn't said things about Nigerian state? The referral to me has been shouting on top of his voice, doing YouTube videos. Go through his page on Instagram. That man is one of the most righteous men that we have in Nigeria left. Look at what they are doing to him. I was watching his last video. I was just pitying him. The one that he was, thanking God and everything. Man, Nigeria will humble you. They will mess you up. They are so bent on evil that, man, if you want to rise up against them, they will so cripple you, man. You just need to know the history of Nigeria, and you will know that advocacy for the truth, activism, don't go down well with them. They will do anything to just shut you up, either temporarily or permanently. What they want is to be doing their evil unchallenged, to the detriment of the people. And it is very sad. Nigeria is a captured state. Only a revolution will break the chains. Every other option is a waste of effort. Even the revolution, how is it going to happen? We struggle to agree on anything. We struggle to meet eye to eye on any topic. Even the first subsidy that most people agreed on. I mean, I thought that when Dangote refinery will come on stream, that it will reduce the pain. Boy, oh boy, the pain is still fresh. I heard the news that from Monday, when is Monday? It's yesterday that was Monday now. That's going to bring the price down to 800 and something or 900 and something. I don't know if that has happened. So you see that there is no savior. Dangote is not saving us. Nobody is going to save us. Even the poor one that is building, I don't think they're going to save us because they are running Nigeria as a capitalist state. The rich is getting extremely wealthy, and the poor is dying in abject poverty, and they don't care. If you go close to people in government, all they are planning is how to take more money. That's why Wike is doing what he's doing and telling you, oh, the aim is not to take your land, the aim is to make you pay money. A land you've had for years, you've been living for years, all of a sudden you have to go and pay fresh money for it. That's how government will take people's lands, give it to whoever they like, mess you up, use the police again. I mean, you hear stories upon stories and upon stories, and they will tell you you can do nothing. And guess what? The police that's supposed to be protecting you is on their side. Because they also close eye when the police is collecting bribe. So it's a win-win situation. So who are the losers? Me and you. Who are the have-nots? Them who are the haves, the bourgeoisies, they are enjoying themselves. That's why I can't wait for Jesus to come and collect all of us and punish those that are supposed to be punished. Because I don't know, sometimes if you are waiting for karma, if you are waiting for evil people, they are enjoying life. We are the ones that are suffering. All the souls that died because they went to go and find rice. Are these people not still enjoying their Christmas in peace with their children? Some of them in London, some of them in their villages, spending wealth, drinking the most expensive drinks. Do you know how I feel when somebody say there is a particular car that there are only two in the whole world and one is in Nigeria? Do you know how that makes me feel? I was watching that face earlier where he was saying, the cars of Davido and the cars of Burna Boy. I'm like, dude, are you so happy about these things? Well, I mean, what's the import of bragging about Cybertruck and making comparison of Ferrari? The people you're talking to don't have money to buy food, and you're busy explaining carbon fiber and nonsense to them. I'm just wondering in my head, what is the video trying to prove? No, offense on David, he has shown that he has a human heart in him. But all this Burna Boy and it's wastage for me, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, it's wastage, not where people are dying of poverty. I'm sorry. Why are you trying to impress? Everybody knows you are rich already. People know you are rich. Why are you buying a car of 1 billion? Look at money, what he's doing in his country. There are people who choose to keep touching lives, helping people, giving back. It doesn't interest me. I would rather clap for Obi Jackson or sorry guys, a call was coming in. I would rather clap for all these philanthropists that give money and give things to people than clap for people just buying cars to show that they are. Of course, nobody is going to argue with David or Burna or Whiskey that they have money. Are you mad? What else are they there to prove? What do you want them to prove? We all need to sit down and tell ourselves the truth. Like I keep saying, or like Odumeje said, as far as Nigeria is in this situation, you are an illiterate. All of us are illiterates. What is the importance of telling me that you are educated and the country is in shambles? Do you know how countries operate? Everybody gather together, put heads together, and find a solution to the national problems. We have a state run by lunatics, criminals. You know, look at the brilliance of Taiwo Oyedele, somebody that worked with the big four, a company like PwC, come out with such a fantastic idea and people from the north are kicking against it. How do we have a country like that? Our best brains cannot be consulted. Look at Okonji Iweala, unopposed, second tenor. Do you know what it means to be the president or the chairman of World Trade Organizations? Presidents listen to her, and she's a Nigerian. And yet, look at the shambles that we have. When the woman was telling us to save money, they said, no, they don't have to save money. They were insulting P2B that was saving money. Now, our foreign reserve is low, which is affecting our currency. The only president that brought it up, which was Yaradua, coincidentally, or as ironical as it will sound, one man came on TV and said those days that he was part of Yaradua's government. And guess what? The man said he used to go and consult the same Tinubu of today when he was governor of Lagos. So I now wonder, if truly you were consulting Tinubu, now Tinubu is #1 president. So is not understanding that he needs to implement all those his geniuses? Because clearly we're not seeing it as far as the economy is concerned. Yes, he's doing well with aviation, he's doing well with interior, but those are not, the main focus is economy. Limiting people to 100,000 withdrawal. I don't know how these things help. I don't know how it helps. I've said it. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The sit at home is killing business and economic activities on Mondays. I've said it many and many times. People have begged and begged and begged. Somebody's ego is holding the whole country to ransom. We even said, oh yeah, hold Simonet by releasing Nnamdi Kanu for peace to reign. Cha. I don't know what else they are going to do, because as far as I'm concerned, I think they've played all their cards. You know, when somebody have played all their cards, there is no other option. So it's that we just the use, you don't the look. You know why I said that? There was a time we were waiting for that refinery to kickstart. It's already kickstarted. We were waiting for that to start. They said it started. So what else are we waiting for? What other cards can APC play? What are there? Is there any other expectation? APC is flying to UK. So what else are we expecting to happen that has not happened? So that means in the next 3 or 4 years, this is the stalemate we are going to have. It's going to be like this. We need minds that can do wonders. I don't know, man. I just got. I'm totally flat out when it comes to, one of the reasons I started, like, after the whole obedient movement, trying to push for, P2B to win and everything. I said, okay, listen, let me use this momentum and, give out advices. I always tag the president, I tag Asovila, I try to help. I try to give advices. If you see a visionary leader, when a visionary leader is moving, you will know this one know what he's doing. Look at Peter Mba. By the time Peter Mba finishes with Enugu State in the next 4 years, I'm not saying he's perfect. He might make a few errors, but you will see that he's somebody that is sound. He is somebody that is sound. By the time that man finishes with Enugu State, even people are now rating Peter Mba above Alex Oti. That is what you call governance. It's not rocket science. If you really have the willpower to do something that is right, people will know. And then that's when you will know there are good Nigerians. There are people that actually want to help. There are people that actually want to do stuff. You are busy buying the most expensive cars, expensive yachts, and you're telling people to endure. Endure what? I can put it better than most people that are speaking on national TV. A lot of people are so articulate enough, very well learned and very well, spoken. They will speak truth to power. But again, are these people listening? You wonder, do these people even care about you? Charities help in any country. Even in the UK, there are a lot of charities in the UK. Rich people will donate, especially during Christmas like this. They give alms, they give things, they give food banks, everything. Yes, that's correct. But you cannot blame Nigerians for stampeding because of indiscipline. No, it's not indiscipline. I beg to differ. I'm sorry. It is not indiscipline. It is hunger. Something called survival of the fittest. If you have 100 people, Okonji-Iweala explained this thing before. Very simple analogy. This is what she did. She said if you have 2 children and you have 1 loaf of bread, you give the 2 children 1 loaf of bread. What would they do? They will break the bread into 2. Child A will carry his bread. Child B will carry his bread and eat. Bring the same loaf of bread. Give it to 5 children. The biggest one will carry the lion chair. Give to the rest of the 4. Maybe the rest of the 4 will fight over it, fight over it. Maybe the smallest child will carry 1 crumb and eat. That is what happens in an economy. So if you grow your economy to be bigger, money will flow more evenly. If you grow a small economy, then survival of the fittest. That is why people died because of stampede. And to think that we've been sharing rights from the federal government is mind-boggling. What else can we do? What else can be done? Government is not about flaunting wealth. Government is not about announcing ministers. That's not government. Government is all about protecting lives and properties, and then, of course, feeding your people. Even in wartime, Nigeria was receiving grains from Ukraine, a war-torn country. That is, I mean, if you are sensible enough, that should underpin some things to you. I'm going to stop here, but like I said, there might be advantages of having checkpoints in the East, but has not helped the security situation. So I think if places like Abuja can do without the checkpoints and still be, okay-ish, if places like Lagos and Port Harcourt can do with less military personnel and still be okay-ish, I think the same should be applied to the East. Enough of all these boots on ground. There is no war in the East. If the military want to adopt a strategy, they should go into the forest. That's where all these kidnappers are. Cope the forest. Leave the roads. Stop commuters. Take the war to the people that are committing all these heinous crimes. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas as we look forward to a very happy and prosperous and a better new year, 2025. I want to thank you all. I want to appreciate all of you, especially those of my followers that have been with me on this journey. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. If there are things you want me to adjust, things you want me to say, things you want me to improve on, if there is anything you want me to do as we go into the new year, I'm happy to learn from you. I'm happy to, please share my videos to those in power, share my videos to those who are sensible, who can think. I would like us to be engaging, especially we young people. I like listening to people. I like learning from people. So please, feel free to message me, DM me, let's have conversations, let's find a way. Like I said, and like Odume just said, we are all illiterate. We claim we are smart, but where we come from is nothing to write home about. So what is the peculiarity of our wisdom or our smartness? Except you are not in Nigeria, then everybody will see, of course, Nigerians are smart. The likes of Okonjiwa, the likes of Kemi, a lot of them. Nigerians are doing very well. You enter some high companies in the UK and you see Nigerians, they're flourishing. But the most important thing is, how do we translate that to nation building? How do we make a real change in the society? How do we feed the nation? How can interest rates be on double digits and you want a country to develop? These are the things you expect the government to think about and do something about, not telling us to endure. But anyway, it is what it is. Thank you so much. We hope and pray for a better year, a better 2025. This might be my last video for 2024. And I hope somehow the police will understand the real purpose of creating them and understand that their royalty is not to these criminals and corrupt people in power, but to the people. And stop extorting the people who are already low with them, but protect their interests and stand on the Constitution and defend the rights of the people. Until then, we'll just be deceiving ourselves with this whole one Nigeria construct of the colonial masters. And I pray that God helps us. Please be careful out there. Enjoy, be safe. Don't get too drunk. Don't even get drunk, I dare say. If you're a Christian, stay away from alcohol, stay away from smoking, look after yourself. Mind what you eat, mind where you buy food or stuff from. There's a lot of fakes. A lot of fakes. Everything is scary in Nigeria. There are so many places that are being exposed that are producing a lot of fake products, especially the big brands that you know. If you can afford it to buy things from supermarkets, stay away from all these local shops. People are trying to survive. You can't blame them, and yet you have to blame them anyway. But every blame goes to the government. President calling himself excellent is living in La La Land. He needs to wake up to reality. He's in fact, he's the worst performing president. Let's say it as it is. Nigeria has not exchanged to the dollar ever on the rate he has exchanged under Tinubu. Sorry. So he's the worst president, and he shouldn't deceive himself and call himself excellent. Sometimes clinching power or grabbing power or taking power is not. His part is the easiest part. It's actually turning things around that shows you are wise, that shows you have it up there. And Tinubu is yet to do it for us. A few ministries are doing well, but you have to attribute it to the ministers, not to him. It's not Tinubu that is doing it. He might give the go-ahead, but that does not mean it's his effort. It's the effort of people like Tunde Ojo and Festus Keyamo. So let's be fair to the people as well. For all those APC supporters, there's no point you playing politics when people are dying. It could be anybody. And remember, it's Christmas. It's Jesus Christ's birthday. It's time to show love. Please. I know everybody has to save, but that 10,000 that 20,000, that 5,000 can save a life. That rice that you can give to that brother or that sister could save them from going to the next giveaway and getting being stampeded. You can save people's life by just showing a little kindness. So please, it's not about video, showing what you do on social media, but try and touch somebody's life. It's Christmas. Once you're able to secure your own plate, help another person to eat. Put food on somebody's plate, and God will bless you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your year, 2024, as we pray and wish that we have a happy and prosperous 2025. Bye-bye.